What is up, everybody? It's your boys, Gin and Juice, back at it again. And today we got a special guest, Mr. Ryan, CardCollector2. What's up, buddy? How are you?
What up? How are you guys?
Woohoo! It's been
Pretty
a while.
Yeah, I know.
It's been a while.
It's been
I think the
long
last time we actually like sat down and talked was probably when you did that deal at Culture Collision the first time around.
Yeah, I think so.
It's been a while.
That was a long time ago.
Dude, man, it feels like the year is flying by too. I was just mentioning it to someone today, like it's already July. Like October is 3.5 months away, 4.5 months away, something like that. And it's just like, holy crap. It like the month is, or the year is just flying by.
Yeah, I know. Hard to believe we're over halfway through the year. We're 2 weeks away from the National. This is the last month of the year with no football. It's crazy.
Dude, the National, man. So last year was the first time we ever been to the National. And
Really?
Yeah, it was an awesome experience. I mean, we did more like Pokemon stuff before, obviously, with our transition into sports cards and stuff. And I always collected as a kid, but I could never afford to go to those places that I can go to now. And I mean, it was just a surreal moment. It was so epic, so awesome.
That's awesome. The National's the best.
It's going to be a little inconvenient in Atlantic City, but we'll take it as it comes.
Have you been? You've been to? I mean, obviously, you've been to a ton of Nationals, but have you been to one in Atlantic City at all?
Yeah, I haven't missed the Nationals since Cleveland in 2009.
Oh wow!
Oh, okay, all right, we got the right guy here, ladies and gentlemen.
I remember.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I remember when it was in Baltimore. They used to have in Baltimore back in the day, back when Steven Strasburg was a rookie, and like what was it, 07, 09? Like I remember watching little kids get trampled as people ran to the Topps booth and tried to grab like Steven Strasburg's exclusive National rookie. Yeah, it's been a journey.
That's pretty dope. So I actually have a couple questions for you about the National. We'll save that for a little bit later as these cars drive by revving their engines. I don't know about you, but I wanted to like start off by getting to know you a little bit more. So how long have you been how long have you had your card business that you have right now, like your shop?
I bought my shop originally in May of 2019 and then bought the building we ended up moving into right across the street end of 2020 and moved there May of 2021. So I've had a sports card shop for 3 years total. Been in our new location for about 18 months.
Wow. I remember when you see, like, it feels like just yesterday you got that new shop. Because I remember you posting it not too long ago. It's just crazy. Time's so going by so fast.
Because I remember watching the documentary of you going through the process of, setting up the shop, getting the shop set up and everything. And it just feels like it was, just yesterday that I watched that documentary.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I'm with you on this whole time flies thing. It's hard to believe it's been that long. It literally seems like just yesterday.
With that, it is owning that card shop everything that you thought it would be.
Yeah, I think it's that and then some, right? It's just been crazy to see like how much it's grown from, May of 2019 to now. I remember hiring our first guy and right after, like right when we reopened from like the first closing with COVID, we were closed originally for like 60 days and then it went to like mask mandates and like right around that time, like when we were forced to close originally, that was like, hey, it's time to go online. It's time to break. We need to generate revenue with no in-store traffic. And to be up to 11 people now from, 2 years, essentially, it's kind of crazy. It's been an awesome journey.
Right around that time, around the COVID time is when Andrew and we took a step back and we're like, I really miss just ripping product and having, one thing about Pokemon is Pokemon got too redundant with, hey, exactly where you're going to get before it. The chase, the feel for us, I'm not going to sit here and deny that I'm not like a little gambler over here because I know what it is at the end of the day. But like it got just boring and it wasn't as much fun as it used to be. And the hobby was kind of in a weird place at the time. And then all of a sudden we started ripping sports cards. And once you get that first big hit, buddy, It was so exciting. Just new endorphins, everything. You're like, all right, here we go. It was right around that time though. It was which is kind of interesting.
Well, we kind of transitioned because we thought, Pokemon was getting kind of expensive, and we're like, okay, well, sports cards isn't that bad. And then right when we got into it, it was just like the pandemic hit, and then everything, people were bored, and then now everything just kind of skyrocketed, and it was tough to get products. Everything was overpriced, and it was just kind of like, we were like, is this really cheaper than the Pokemon we were opening before?
Yeah, and it did not
get cheaper.
Did not get cheaper. In fact, it got much worse. One of my biggest things, and I hate that I admit this, but like in 1 month I spent like $100,000 just on sports cards. It's disgusting, absolutely disgusting.
I got into breaks, and I said, like, in the first week I spent like 15,000 on breaks, and I was like, I gotta reevaluate what I'm doing here, because breaks weren't that expensive, but once you get into like so many breaks here and there, then it starts to add up, and then you see a credit card bill, and you're like, well, luckily I make a lot working, but I should probably scale this back just a little bit.
Yeah. Speaking of which, okay, so you're known to be like the value box king. Do you really go through all these boxes that we see? I've watched, trust me. So me and my girl every day, if you have like a return video, we watch the return video. Your vlog video, watch your vlog video. There's like maybe 5 content creators that are in the sports card world that I watch religiously, and it's you is the primary one. And I sit there. I'm like, do you really think he sits there and goes through the box? Because I see you at shows doing it, but like I only see you for like a split second because we're all busy, right? But I don't. Do you actually sit there and go through them?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like the value boxes are just, I enjoy that so much. It's like I found a Ted Johnson Skybox Rubies in a quarter box, sold it for like $156. Like that kind of stuff to me, finding that kind of stuff is the best. I thoroughly enjoy that kind of stuff.
That's phenomenal. I tried to do it one day. Like we were like, all right, we were making like content, and we were like, I remember we were doing a little vlog, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to try to be like CardCollector2 here. And like 5 minutes into it, I'm like, I don't know how this guy does this. I don't have the patience for it. Maybe I'm just like, my patience is so thin, but I could not do it. So it's like, all right, scrapping this idea. He's got more patience than I do.
Yeah, I mean, there are definitely days where it's not nearly as exciting, and I maybe don't do it as long. And there's some days where just you lock in and just go digging. So
yeah, for sure. With that, sports cards, it feels like the hobby's taking an interesting turn, and I right, wrong, or different, I think it's kind of a good thing with how things are like kind of playing out at the moment, and a lot of it is circle around the wax and like getting cards and so forth. Just in general, right now in the hobby, what do you think of the current landscape of the hobby at the moment?
Yeah, I think it's definitely adjusting. I think the big thing is you look at singles across the board from a lot of these boxes, and it just doesn't line up per se with some of the cards you're pulling. Like Panini 1 is $550, $600 a box, and you can buy a Justin Fields patch auto redemption or a Zach Wilson auto for under the price of the box. So it just comes down to like, what are you chasing for that price, right? There are some things where you can pull obviously bigger cards. You're searching for the lottery ticket though, and the fact that breakers are able to offer you a chance for $15 for a 1 in 30 shot in that, really the gambling aspect of that is what's driving so much of it. But from the personal break perspective, it's just, you're not really seeing that ROI on the boxes on 90%. Like I would assume 90% of boxes you rip probably don't return a positive ROI. And it's just with everything else being so expensive in the world right now, and your stock accounts being worth 25% less start of the year, that doesn't often equate to a reason to continue to spend money and gamble.
Yeah, 100%. I think we're a little bit of the 99%. We're not getting any ROI in when a lot of boxes were open. I've opened up
those Prism boxes.
So Prism basketball. I opened up probably 20 Prism basketball boxes, and I think the best hit I got, I can't remember. That's how bad it is. Like the best hit I might have gotten was like, Anthony Edwards base auto. was the best hit I got. That's a solid hit. Don't get me wrong, but all the parallels, I never got any of the rookie parallels or any good rookie or veteran players of parallels. It was always, people that I eventually ended up PC, like if they went to the University of Arizona. I'm kind of like you. You like your Ohio State. I love U of A. I've actually purchased a bunch of Richard Jefferson stuff from you.
Really?
Before, and a couple other cards from your website. Because I was just, let's just see what they got. But yeah, so a couple PC cards, but man, I mean, I pulled like gold cards, but they were like a Ty Jerome or something like that. Is like, all right, man, this sucks. Why can't I just be that one guy that pulls one of the epic cards? But
yeah, we ripped a case on Friday on whatnot and hit we hit one gold, and it was Jordan Clarkson. Hit a Jalen Green auto in the last box. The best two cards we hit were both redemptions, though. We had a Luka auto and a Jaw throwback auto. They were just both redemptions.
Oh, wow. Hopefully those redemptions get signed. I mean, that stuff's been a pain in the butt. Did you, I don't know if you know this, but I pulled a Mosaic Kobe Bryant redemption.
Did you?
Yeah, one of our earlier videos, I want to say last year. And I submitted that to get redeemed. And I was hoping for one of those packs, the Kobe Bryant packs.
Yep.
And I guess they publicly announced like 2 months after I added it that they ran out of packs. And I was like, okay, what am I going to get for this? So I left it there, kept redeeming and waiting. Then they're like, okay, it expired, but the only thing you could do is request points. Yep. Nothing else they're willing to do. I'm like, all right, I better get a lot of points for this. I finally got the points redeemed. You want to take a guess at how much it was?
42,000.
Oh, do you remember my post? Because that was exactly it. 42,000 points. But I was like, couldn't believe that 42,000 points. It's a lot of points.
Yeah.
But when you go to redeem these points or use these points,
nothing.
Nobody.
Really.
There's a Luka auto, rookie auto that I could get for 50,000 points, but I'm still short.
Can you get white sparkle packs?
You used to. There's some like the UFC white sparkle packs you could get, but when I went to go get the Prism football white sparkle packs, they were all cost money. I couldn't use my points.
Gotcha. See, that's disappointing, especially if they continue to make points a thing and they don't update the site enough with like quality kind of stuff like that. That would be disappointing because typically those are the kind of things that people
I'm sorry.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
That was funny. But it sucks because like now like some of the only cards you can get, like the Luka piece was cool to see that I could eventually get the Luka, but majority of those autos for 400 points, you're getting guys that haven't been in the league in years. I mean, there's a couple times I redeemed it to get like Chase Buninger. Yeah, because again, he went to Arizona, and that was it, right?
Yeah,
but it's so disappointing at times. Oh no, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I think that's definitely the most disappointing thing as points continue to be such a big part of it. I mean, I've ripped a bunch of Chronicles draft picks, there's a bunch of redemptions. I think as those things continue, that it would be nice to see Panini add some real nice chase pieces on there for the points. Like I think that's so like it seems fair. That seems like the appropriate word for it.
Yeah,
nothing is more disappointing than opening like a really expensive like a Prism basketball and one of your autos be like 400 points. Nothing is more disheartening. It's like just give me a no-name auto instead of 400 points.
See, that's what I ask people all the time. Would you rather have a redemption or points? What would you rather have?
I would go for redemption.
Yeah, probably redemption. But here's the thing. But now you're making me think because earlier I would say yes, because when I first started getting sports cards and I got redemptions, I would submit that redemption. I would get the sports card back quickly. I literally have, just like I'm sure you all have it, but I mean, I got stacks of redemptions here that I have not gotten yet. And I got, you click the arrow, page 5 of 15, 20, whatever it is. And it just keeps going and going and going. And now I'm not getting those redemptions back that quickly. Now I'm nervous that if I pull like a LaMelo Ball redemption, I go to get it redeemed. doesn't sign, or if I sell that redemption online, I kind of feel bad selling it to an individual online, knowing that I just got, say, $1,000 for this card for simple math, and they just wasted $1,000.
Yeah.
So at that point, and if those are the scenarios, maybe points might be better. But the points can't be 400 points. And then you go to redeem, and you're like, all right, cool, 400 points. And you go over there and you're getting like
Martavis Bryant autos.
Boom, that guy.
2014 contenders. I remember buying those on there when he was like pre devil's lettuce, I guess. I think might be the appropriate word to say.
Yeah, exactly. It just stinks. But I mean, that's a good question. Chat, let us know what you guys think. Points or redemption? We'll come back to it. You guys just put it in chat there. So one of the big questions I do have for you, because it's not as often as we get to talk. We have our local card shops here, but they're not. They don't have a lot of allocation, so they don't have a lot of connections. I know with your business that is growing, one of the big things you probably are going to be a part of is the Fanatics piece, right? As a card shop owner, does that make you a little nervous? Have you talked to them at all? Is there anything you can actually say about it? If you can't, no biggie, but it's just, I haven't had a chance to talk to anybody about the Fanatics piece that owns a shop.
Yeah, I have had no conversations with Fanatics. I did the Burrow signing I posted about on IG a couple of weeks ago. Got to meet Joe Burrow. That was through Fanatics. That was pretty cool. That was really the first interaction I had with them, but there was no conversation about, hey, we think you'd be a good fit to have product, or hey, it was nothing like that. It was, hey, we think this might be something of interest to you. I think it was a good opportunity to kind of introduce ourselves and, have some sort of connection there and just make a relationship with, Bill and the team over there. But, we haven't had any conversation about it. So in terms of like, am I nervous? I'm not sure nervous is the right word. I'm not ever a big fan of like uncertainty, but there's not really a lot you can do in this kind of situation. There's so many unknowns. With all the talk that, is Upper Deck going to be bought by Fanatics? Is Fanatics going to buy Panini? Like,
I've heard that too.
Everybody hears all the rumors going around online about, hey, is this happening? Is this going to happen? I've talked about it before when it happened. I would be a fool to sit here and say, like, I'm eager for things to change. We've spent a couple years building up our allocation. Like, things are good. Like, I'm not naive to say differently.
Right.
But Fanatics is huge. They're a big business. And I think Fanatics is going to do all they can to get sports cards in front of as many people as humanly possible. And I think that's overall a good thing. They're going to put the attention of sports cards in front of a lot of people.
Yeah. And I personally am excited for the Fanatics piece. One of the things, though, that I've seen recently is the sports cards that are starting to go into a lot of these shops. And one of them, I ran across an ad, and I made a little TikTok about this, where Phoenix Suns, I got an ad. They had PSA 10 DeAndre Ayton.
And I was like,
yeah, I was like, okay, this is really cool to see this in powered by Fanatics. It's on their team shop, legitimate. And I go look at the price, and I'm like, I was like, take it back a little bit. I'm like, this card is literally $35 max. And I think the eBay snipping that I got was $33. Yep. Like, there's no way in heck that you should be pricing this card that high. And especially when it's already branded Fanatics. And if this is something that we're going to see, because one of their things are pushing to the team shops, being a part of the sporting events, being there, buying wax. And if there's already a premium like that, I'm one of the people that understand that, yes, you got to make money. I'm very aware of that. I in the business world completely understand. And it's easier to understand maybe the card $50 and you make like, $15, whatever the 15, 20%, whatever the increase is. But we're talking 100 and
300%.
Yeah, exactly. Of the actual card's value. And it's just absolutely insane.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, they're definitely going full blown retail. I mean, just
They're doing something. They're doing something. So I guess we're going to see how that plays out. But it's I know it's coming soon. It's just a very interesting piece that that I hope plays out in our favor.
Yeah,
I think it will. I mean, it can't hurt. Hopefully.
Yeah. Let's I blab a lot, so let's slow it down a little bit. Let's see what some of these people in chat are saying, because we asked the point about redemptions or points, and I see points. I see a lot of redemptions at the top. Someone says Jin square up. Okay, there you go. Someone wants to fight you, Jin.
Oh,
Jin is back between slots. What are you guys talking about? JW says points because I'm a leader, not a follower. There we go. Okay, which is better, Walmart or Target? It's up to you, Ryan. That's for you. Oh, by far.
Yeah,
by far. Target red card incoming. That's how I get all those retail prison packs online, baby. Coming tomorrow. Have you considered a second location? Ooh, here we go.
Ooh.
I mean, it's always something that it's something we've discussed. It's not near the top of my list. There's other things I would want to do pre-second location. One of the things we've had, I think the thing I would do before I would ever consider second location is some sort of card show. I think that would be something that I would look at before I spent time and effort into another shop.
What do you think about shops in college towns, or doing card shows in college towns? Do you think there's anything there? I figure a lot of people like yourself would have be more of a certain fan base, so you could probably move product a little bit differently there.
I don't know if I ever read too much into that. I just if there's a show in Miami, Florida, are Hurricanes cards going to sell that much better than they would in Ohio? Yeah, there would probably more attention. But are you going to go there and only sell Hurricanes cards and make a successful show? I'm not sure. I believe enough in that in a 4 to 6 hour window in one day. At scale through a shop. Every day, 7 days a week. I think it's a different conversation. But for a show, I don't focus as much on the college town thing. The shop might make sense, right? If we're in Columbus, we sell a ton of Buckeyes. That makes sense to me. But the show, I think, is a little bit of a different conversation.
Okay, cool. Sports card show. I remember you, by the way. I'm going to tell a little story about sports card show.
Uh-oh.
Hey, the most honest review I've ever seen, and kudos to the guy because he did it the right way. But we had Coach Co on here before, and he has his own YouTube channel. Shout out Sports Card Show. And he was doing bringing up topics during the week. It's a cool little video idea, and he gives credit to everybody that's there. And he gets to our point where we were talking with Coach Co and a couple things, and first thing he says, "Look, I'm not a fan of gin and juice. They're not my cup of tea." I'm like, all right, that's fair. Everybody's not a fan of us. It's fine. But they had these guests on here that actually are talking some sense, and he showed the clip of Coach Co. So it was kind of cool, but I thought it was hilarious. And I just went to his YouTube. Hey, appreciate the shout out. Left little crying faces, but hey, at least he was honest. Drew, I do want to let you know that people do say real men wear fanny packs. So you're all right.
I trust JW.
James Wiseman breakout year. Did you see him in Summer League?
Oh, yeah, he looked good.
He looked real good, and still on that team that's already stacked.
Yeah, do you think they make a trade?
The only reason why I don't think they will make it. All right, let me take a step back. If they make a trade, I don't think it's going to be their big men. I think they're going to get rid of a Jordan Poole.
Really?
Yeah, and if they, because I think if Wiseman plays out to be healthy as what we see in Summer League, Draymond Green is not getting any younger. I think Wiseman's going to be their big man of the future. Now they do have Kuminga, possibly make a deal there. I can see it, but I think if they do make a trade anytime soon, the focal point is going to be Jordan Poole.
We talked about this on our way to the Midwest Monster a few weeks back, but when we look back on it years from now, I think it'll be interesting to see how the Warriors, I don't know if we talk enough about how they kept the coach, all the superstars, all the personalities on that team, right? You have KD come, KD leave, like you draft well. Think of all the guys they've drafted and developed, right? Jordan Poole, Clay, Steph Curry, Draymond Green. You've got Kuminga coming up, Moses Moody coming up, James Wiseman coming up. Like that team is beyond, like, just so well run. They stuck together. They won before KD. They won after KD. Like it's
Who do you give a lot of credit to?
Everybody, like Steph Curry. Like you got to take somebody, like it's got to take somebody to lead the, like keep those personalities in check. I mean, I think Kerr gets a lot of credit, but like Draymond's a personality in himself, but like none of those guys are like, hey, I need to go elsewhere and be the face. Like they're there and it's crazy how it's worked out.
I was trying to set you up a little bit. I wanted you to talk a little bit more about Steve Kerr.
No. Oh, U of A guy?
Yeah. Buddy, every time I get a chance, man, it's every day. Bear down, you know?
That's awesome.
All right, let's see.
Ryan, so what's your thoughts on Prism's quality control this year?
Yeah.
Well, I'll let you answer, and then I got another question here we pull up.
It's a little disappointing. I would be lying if I didn't say that. Like,
do you feel it was like rushed? Like they just pushed it out too quickly, or?
It's hard to say that. Like, I don't know, right? Like, I don't know what's going on at Panini, so I don't know how quickly it was produced, but it's like 8 months past due. Like, it's normally a December release. Like, We're in July. The fact that so many guys are in the other uniforms, I think was a bigger concern to me. Like, Russell Westbrook has inserts in a Wizards uniform. Like, that to me is like the season's over and Russell Westbrook played an entire season in a Lakers uniform, and his Prism card, the most important basketball set of the year for most trading card collectors, has Russell Westbrook in a Wizards jersey from 15, 16 months earlier. That's wild to me, but it's not just Russ. But again, it's easy to be critical when we're not involved in it. I'm sure they've got a lot of things going on. So I try to look at it a little glass half full, but yeah, it's definitely disappointing to see so many guys in different uniforms.
Yeah. Agree for sure. I think we all can agree on that. Select NFL 2021. What do y'all think the price will be on those hobby boxes?
Wow.
So for perspective, Prism football on opening day was around $1,400 a box.
Yeah.
Do you think Select's a little bit better than Prism?
Yes, but it won't be priced better than Prism.
Ooh, interesting. I was always a believer in a lot of individuals that Prism was that I guess the card of the hobby. I've heard that plenty of times.
I would say it's $1,100 to like $1,000 to $1,100 a box. I think the market in general being slower than when Prism came out will have a negative consequence on the price. So I think you'll see that adjustment there. So I would say, like, I'm going to assume the bigger, like, online retailers, the Blowouts, Steven Adams, Steel City, the main three, I would imagine they're somewhere around $1,100 to $1,200 a box. And I think we'll come in less than that.
Yeah, I think by the end of it, they'll probably be around $900.
You think?
Ooh, yeah, I think it'll be under 1,000. I think a lot of wax is going to just, unfortunately, well, fortunately for most and unfortunately for businesses, adjust a little bit. It depends on what you get it for allocation, because a lot of the big, I know a lot of businesses go through when they do the reorder process.
Yeah,
that's when they get hit.
Pain in the butt.
Crushed.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're gonna see some adjustment, I think, hopefully on the distributor side anyway. Oh, Sir Ryan Johnson, please convince Juice to wear his Bellsprout suit. I don't think anybody wants to see that.
Not again.
Not again.
I mean, the video lives on our channel, so you guys can watch it anytime.
There you go. Luka MVP season coming up. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, I saw some photos of him. Like, that's the thing, is like, it looks to me like if we saw the hookah, he was having drinks before a playoff game with like Boban or something.
Yeah, eating like burgers and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not. Luca was one of the guys that definitely came around later. I'm like, I just don't see it. Like, why is this guy selling so high? He's definitely a star. Like, if he put in 110% effort in the offseason, he's like top 3 player in the league. He's the real deal.
Okay, crazy question. You don't have to answer this. Is he going to be an all-time top 5 player when it's all said and done?
No chance. No.
No. What is it? No or no chance?
No,
Okay.
no. There's always a chance.
There's always a
Clip
chance.
it, clip it, everybody, clip it. We got him. No, I'm going to be one of those ones. Like, he does have the talent to potentially be a top 5 player in the NBA all time.
Yeah. Are you going to sit here and say that Luka Doncic will end up being better than LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Magic Johnson, Bill Russell, Shaq, Kareem, Will? I'm not saying it. There's just. There's no way. Like,
I'm just happy you put Kobe Bryant in the top 5. I mean, there's a lot of people that don't even have him in their top 5, which I think is idiotic. But
yeah,
different type of conversation, you know.
Sure.
And by the way, tell Ryan I enjoyed his trade night.
Oh,
Raccoon, there you go, buddy.
Appreciate that.
So thoughts on Zion?
Ooh.
Because he's looking beastly. So, but I mean,
yeah, there's probably good angles of Zion. There's probably bad angles of Zion. He's a big boy. Right. Everybody's got a good side and a bad side. My wife only lets me take pictures from one side, so I understand how that works. So yeah, Zion, like I'm optimistic going into his 3rd year that like this is the year he figures it out, because it's like it seems like he's got to figure it out. But Zion being good is good for the hobby. So that's why I want to try to remain as optimistic as possible. Like, I don't think it's a good thing for the hobby if Zion is Greg Oden. There was a lot of people that have a lot of money in Zion, and when he is good, there's a lot of interest in his cards. So it is good for the hobby if Zion Williamson became LeBron James. Am I betting on that happening? Probably not, but better than Greg Oden. Like that is an ideal situation. So Zion being good is good for the hobby. So fingers crossed that works out.
Yeah, me too. Fingers crossed.
Especially Drewski over here with some of the big cards.
Nothing crazy of Zion's, but I was, I was getting fed up. I was getting fed up with him and being out for so many seasons with injury and looking like a chunky boy. So I was like,
he's played less than 100 games and just signed for what, $193 million.
I know.
That's wild.
It is wild. Well, this whole NBA landscape is wild at the moment. The type of money these guys are getting. Yeah. Real quick, I got a couple of these I want to show you. Someone says, "Hey, a card collector pop up in New York would kill." I don't know if you ever thought of that.
Been in New York one time. Shout out to Bleeker for hosting us out there, man. It's an experience being in New York.
Yeah. Oh, buddy, my girl's from New York, and I used to go out there a lot, and it's just, you get lost in the lights, my friend. Yeah. Big up to CardCollector2 for keeping the attention on the $1 boxes. Nice. Building a collection low on budget. There we go.
It's always good to see that. I had somebody, this is probably in the last 3 months, certain tweets stand out, but somebody was very, very, very upset that I was in the dollar box. Very, very, very upset. So I always appreciate when people enjoy it. I don't do it to, get rich and, do anything like that. I'm just trying to.
But it's like treasure hunting, right? Because like you said, sometimes you find like little gems hidden in boxes, and it just works out in your favor.
Yeah, and I think part of it is like that's what I started with. Like that's how I built so much of my collection, was like turning 1 into 5 a lot of times through time. But I think the other piece of it is like, as I've built my following, I'm grateful for that attention and like what I've been able to build. And I think it's fun to be able to, like, there's somebody out there that follows the content that we put out that wants to at some point, quit their job and do this for full time. So if I can help one person understand my thought process when I go through a dollar box, what I look for, why I look for something, my experience about how 15 years ago, Don Mattingly's son, I had a 1-of-1 card and it sold for over like $300 on eBay because Don Mattingly has a big fan collection, or why Skybox rubies are worth buying in the quarter box. Just different things like that I've learned in 16 years of doing this. If I could teach one person and one person could make an extra $200 a month, that allows them to pay their phone bill or the card, like different things like that, that to me is like a huge win. So I don't do it to retire off of dollar boxes and smoke anybody. I'm looking to teach people what I was able to learn, and I think it's a helpful resource.
Oh, by far. Keep doing what you're doing. Like the knowledge that I gain just listening to you is ridiculous. We're not experts by all means, and anybody that's stopping anybody from spreading actual true knowledge, that's very unfortunate. And I think your platform is fantastic. Everything that you do is phenomenal. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Now to tough questions. Drew, you're going to go first. Start, bench, cut. KD, Giannis, Curry.
Oh, jeez. God. Dang.
Really thinking about it.
God. Wow.
I got mine.
Okay. I get. You got to start Curry.
Okay.
All right. Saying no. Oh, God. This is tough.
You start the best two-way player in the league.
Oh no. God. Ooh, I already got mine locked in.
Wow. I guess it's gonna be. God. Since if I pick Curry first, I gotta bench Giannis and cut KD. But that's so painful to. This is a tough one. All right. Yeah. It's probably the most unpopular opinion there, but that's where I'm going.
Yeah, I would start Giannis. I would bench Curry, and I would cut KD.
Okay, Ryan, you and I have the same exact one. Start Giannis, bench Curry, cut KD all day.
Cut, sure.
But I'm a little bit. All right, with Steph Curry, it's closer to cutting Steph Curry and keeping KD than you think for me.
Sure,
but it's that order for sure.
Yeah, I would agree.
Ooh, Iguodala, the real MVP, U of A Wildcat, of course. We got to put that up there. I'm just throwing that out there. Hey, what are your thoughts on Mac Jones? Is he overrated, underrated, or properly rated? Shout out to Gary V.
Overrated.
Overrated. Love that.
I'm a Patriots fan. I'm not a Mac Jones believer.
I love hearing that. Drew, did you hear him? I'll make it.
No, my headphones cut out. The audio issues.
I'll make a TikTok and send it to you. Well, we got caught up on chat, and typically after that, I got a couple of fun questions that I do want to throw out at you and get your perspective on it. So one of them is, give me one player from each that you would go out there and start collecting that no one's collecting that potentially has a big upside. I'll start with two sports that obviously are probably the two most common in the hobby at the moment. We'll start with basketball.
So I don't follow basketball. I looked at your list. I don't follow basketball as much. That's a good question. I'm gonna go. Okay, so like the whole nobody's collecting him. That's I don't know the G League players as much. I think a guy that gets some hobby love, but I think has potential long term is Garland. I think Garland's going to be the star in Cleveland. I think Cleveland has enough young talent. If Ricky Rubio would have stayed healthy, I think the Cavs would have had a shot to do something. I like Garland. I think he's a solid player. He's going to be the face of the Cavs. So I would say Garland. Garland would be the guy.
Oh, I'm glad dude looks keeping all.
You don't think
Garland?
Yeah, right. He's got a massive Garland collection because that's all he ever pulls from these expensive hobby boxes. You don't think marketing can lead the Cavaliers?
No, you and your Arizona boys. What do you real quick before we move on next rapid fire? Chet Holmgren, good or bad?
Oh,
I don't think
good in a sense. If I can elaborate, I know it's supposed to be rapid fire. I think he's going to be solid, but the problem is I do think his size is going to hurt him. I don't think he's a Kevin Durant type of talent, and people are comparing him way too much to Kevin Durant. He has the ability to do a lot of stuff that KD does in the sense of scoring, but I think he is too weak right now, way too weak.
I think he'll be good in cards. I think he will be very popular.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Anyways, next question.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. No. You're fine. NFL.
I think the one thing about the NFL that's exciting is that as the market has cooled down and some of these quarterbacks have slowed down, it will make like prospecting fun again. Like I think as the season goes on and you don't see playing time from most of the quarterbacks into the 2022 class, Ritter, Corral, Sam Howell, Malik Willis, like you go down the list, I think that will make that stuff fun. Willis is a guy that's intriguing for sure, that I think could get some run. I don't mind Ritter in Atlanta because I'm not a big Mariota guy. But one of the guys that stands out to me a lot is Kenneth Walker. I really liked Kenneth Walker in college. He was a stud. Seahawks aren't going to be very good. That's the only problem there is if Kenneth Walker is amazing, you just put 9 in the box because you're okay with Drew Lock beating you. Man, I like Kenneth Walker, but again, running backs don't sell well. It's got to be a quarterback. Like that seems like the easy answer. I'm hoping it's Trevor Lawrence. Like I want Lawrence to be the guy, highest rated prospect I can. Like I think it might be
Manning.
Since Manning. Like he turning around the Jags would be quite the challenge, but
I think he's got I think Doug Peterson is going to be a phenomenal coach for him because Doug's going to teach him how to be an NFL quarterback.
Sure.
No disrespect, but it's something Urban Meyer can never do.
I know. You don't say.
But I think you're going to see in my opinion, I think you're going to see a massive improvement in his game, especially on the fundamentals. I'm a big fan. I always use the term blocking and tackling, and not necessarily for football, but I use it in the sense of you have to build the fundamentals, build the base before you can grow. And I think Doug Peterson's a perfect coach right now in his career to get that done. Do I think it's going to be on the Jacksonville Jaguars long term? No, I don't think that franchise has the right mindset to grow in the big market. Their owner is a big market owner, but I have a feeling they would have to leave Jacksonville before anything real could happen there.
Yeah.
All right, last one, and this is you and Drew can have this conversation. I put it on the list particularly because you love it. F1.
So I'll let Drew, like I don't follow any of the F2 stuff. I don't follow any of it. So like I know a couple of the names like that, but I don't watch it at all. So
let's keep it just to F1 then, because I don't know anything about F2 or F1.
Yeah, I mean, when I first got into it, like I was buying like 5 guys, right? Max, Lando, Charles, George, Lewis. Looking at it now, I'm not sure Lando gets it done in the McLaren. Like Lewis is on his way out. I like Max is really, really good. The two for me, it's always been the most interesting is between Charles and George. Yeah. George, I think, is going to do really, really well in Mercedes. Like he's been Mr. Consistent all year. He's finished top 5 most races, I think, other than one. George looks really good. Charles drives a Ferrari, though. Like Ferrari just has the name, the brand. Like that, if he wins in a Ferrari, I think that's really good for his stuff. That's why I like both of those two. So those two to me are the two I have my eyes. But they're also two of the most expensive, right? Those aren't like someone said Gasly. Like that's not Pierre Gasly. That's not Yuki Tsunoda. It's not Mick Schumacher. Schumacher's one that could be on that list if he ever figures it out.
I know.
He's finishing the points twice in a row. Finished sixth or seventh last week. Like if he ever were to figure it out, like it has like if Mick Schumacher was in a Mercedes and was winning races, it would be a big deal in F1. How are we going to get there? I'm not sure. I'm quite ready to say that yet, but a lot of fun. I enjoy F1 a lot.
It's definitely fun. I love watching it on the weekends for sure. When there's
at like 2:00 in the morning when you guys get up to watch a race.
Actually, it's like Sundays, probably like 9 in the morning for
9 a.m.
most
9
around
a.m.
9. It's about a 2-hour race, so it's not too bad.
Sorry, Drew. Who are you collecting?
Ooh, I mean, yeah, obviously George Russell, because I think eventually he's has very good potential at Mercedes. I think he'll learn a lot from Lewis Hamilton, but he's in the right team. Charles, definitely. I think they just need to figure out their car issues because they've had a lot of problems with that and things like that. So, high hopes on Charles. Obviously, Gasly, I mean, there's potential there. I mean, I think he still has that fire since he was originally on Red Bull and then they dropped him down to AlphaTauri. So he's definitely trying to prove himself. But is he going to take a position from Max or Checo? No, not anytime soon. So I think he'll do well at AlphaTauri to get the experience he needs to move up and then eventually take a position maybe at Red Bull. But I'd like to see Daniel do a little bit better.
He gets back to Red Bull?
He might. I mean,
really?
I think. I mean, if he keeps being consistent and proves himself, I think in the next couple of years, maybe he'll work his way back up there. I think he started out high and then he didn't produce as well, so he got knocked down. So I think he's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder to get back there. So
I just think Red Bull need. I don't want to talk too much about F1. I don't want to bore the people. I just think Red Bull needs an experienced veteran driver next to Max. I'm just not sure you can have somebody that's young and competitive and full of energy. That doesn't vibe well with Max. He's not my guy.
I'd like to see Daniel Ricciardo do a little bit better.
He stinks. I'm not a Danny Ric fan.
I just like his. I think he's funny and he's like a little. I know he does a lot of pranks and stuff, on the side. But I'd like to see him do a little bit better. I don't know if it's just the team or.
I think McLaren would too.
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to try to wake you guys back up after that riveting F1 talk. No, that's good. Let's talk about the National. And one of the things that we've been talking about is we're doing it from the perspective of the first time going as a consumer, right? As not a shop or anything like that. What are 3 things you would recommend for a first timer that is going to the National, not to set up, but to walk the floor,
to make some deals,
make some deals and stuff like that? And they don't have to be necessarily about the cards. We said, hey, make sure you buy walking shoes. Make sure you wear like basketball shorts, something loose.
Bring a fanny pack.
A lot of walking.
So I think the first one is just go into it knowing you're going to be overwhelmed. I think that's important. I've been to a lot of these now. I'm very fortunate. And you walk in, and one of the requirements, from my understanding, to host the National is it's 500,000 continuous square feet. So these are not small buildings. There's not this isn't your local card show. This is the mecca of sports card shows, right? So walking into it, it's so overwhelming. There's so much to see, so much to do. So just knowing going into it that's going to happen, I think, is key, because you walk in and you just one table to another. It can be kind of crazy, but it's at the end of the day, it's a blast. If you go into it and you're going to be a little overwhelmed from the start, but kind of piggybacking off of that, have some sort of a plan, right? You go in because it is going to be overwhelming. If you go into it with no plan at all, you'll go to the first table, spend all your money, and we'll see you next year. And it's just, that can be a little tricky. So I think that would be my first one. Second one, I think, would be know that your phone battery is going to drain faster than it's ever drained before. That is always a big one. Is there's a bunch of people in a big cement building that are all trying to get on the shaky 2G internet, and it's not going to work very well, and your phone battery is going to deplete faster than it's ever done in the history of you having that phone. So if you don't have any kind of you can't take your outlet and go in the bathroom and plug it into the wall charger, you should probably have some sort of some phone block. I think that would be a big thing. And then I think the third thing would be take lots of pictures. I went to the National in Cleveland in 2009 for the first time ever. And I don't think I really took up many pictures until Atlantic City in 16. First year we ever ran trade night. That was one of my first years that I remember taking a lot of pictures. So looking back on it, I don't have as many pictures as I would like from all of the nationals I had been to. And I think you'll look back later on it and be like, man, I wish I had that. So pictures, videos, stuff like that, I could not recommend it enough. This is oftentimes the one time a year we all see each other, right? Because most content creators that we know, like a lot of those people are going to be there.
Right.
Some people unfortunately can't make it, but most people will be. And it's just everybody in the same room, the same time for the same reasons. I think it's a good opportunity to meet new people, connect, but importantly, remember it and take some photos. I think you'll look back on it and thank yourself later.
I'm big on reminiscing. I think it's healthy for people to remember the good times, and that's a good way to do it.
You can remember how much money you spent all the time. You look at all the pictures you take. Like, I just spent so much money.
Oh, it's going to be fun this year. That's for sure. I'm super pumped for it. Guys, we got a couple more minutes left here with Ryan before we call it a night. If you got any other questions, go ahead and leave them in the chat now. And then I got one little thing at the end that throw back at Ryan and we'll go from there. Real quick, I got a couple rapid fire, just quick answers. Do they grade or can you submit cards to be graded?
Yeah, they definitely they have in the past graded cards at the National. I would assume they'll do it again this year. PSA.
Yeah, they have it up for you to submit what cards you want to do ahead of time, and then they'll do on-site grading, reholstering, and then I think you can also just drop off cards too for them to send back. But
I would do it. I think that sounds right.
Next up, couple tips, maybe one or two tips for a first-time vendor.
Okay.
Price your cards. And if you're going to take something other than cash, have a way to check it. So a lot of, again, internet is not very good there. Data is not very good. If you're going to try to take PayPal, Venmo, anything like that, again, if you have crappy internet, it's harder to do those kind of things. So having a plan in place before somebody walks up to your table and says they want to spend $3,000 in PayPal and you don't have a way to confirm that PayPal, are you going to lose that sale over not being able to check it? Something to keep in mind.
Ooh, this is a good one. Who's going to be the most transacted player at the Nationals?
Josh Allen.
And I'm bringing Josh Allen, rookie autos.
Yeah, Josh Allen.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Then this answered itself then.
Well, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, to me, Josh Allen has the best overall team around him. That playoff game last year was probably the best playoff game any of us have seen. They got better. Josh Allen's the real deal. I'm taking Josh Allen. And I'm a Patriots fan, so I hate to say that, but
yeah, you guys are gonna get lit up this year. It's okay. Dane, we're not gonna answer that question because you can't make a choice.
That's too tough.
Too tough. What is Ryan's best burrow? Ooh.
Honestly, I don't keep as many of the modern guys. I think the risk versus reward is not necessarily there. You've got Herbert, Allen, Burrow, Mahomes, Brady, Rodgers, Stafford, Watson, Trubisky. You go down the list, there's 15, 20 guys selling like they're going to win the Super Bowl this year. One of them will, and two of them will play for it. So it's just risk versus reward. I'm more I'll grab one or two here and there and, kind of enjoy those. But I'm in the boat that if I sell them all and I miss on the one that does really, really well, oh, well, but you'll have sold the Nathan Petermans, the Mitchell, Trubisky back in the day when he was real hot, right? Mariota was a guy. Just look back at the last 5 to 7 years and see who is really, really hot that's no longer hot. Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl. You can buy his exquisite patch autos for under $250. At some point, what do these guys have to do to justify all of the prices they currently have? To me, I'll play the long-term game. I'll take Brady, Jordan, LeBron, Gretzky, Mantle, those guys.
It's kind of hard to get in those cards now, though, because now they've gotten so big. A lot of these guys, especially obviously you can get the LeBrons and the Bradys this year, but if you're looking for the older cards, do you think they've hit their cap? Because I see a lot of people invest in cards that are massive. Do you think like a Brady rookie auto would continue to go up over time?
And I just bought a Brady Contenders auto in the last 2 weeks. So I own a few, and like a Brady Contender. I bought a Brady Contenders Authentic for around 20, and I have a Joe Burrow Optic Pandora Black PSA 10 auto somewhere in the 10 to 13 range. To me, again, I love Joe Burrow. He's awesome guy. Definitely rooting for him. I want to see him succeed. That's a major card for a guy with one Super Bowl appearance, right?
Yeah.
Like that's a lot. That's a lot of real money. And I just compare that to the Brady. If Burrow never wins, that card's not anything crazy in the long run. Tom Brady's got 7 Super Bowl rings. He's probably one of the greatest team sport athletes of all time, right? He has 1 rookie auto in a Patriots uniform. It's from Contenders. He has 2 total from Contenders. The other one's a duel with Mark Bulger, but he has 1 Patriots rookie auto. It's from Contenders. It's the football card. So at $20,000 even for an authentic one, when you compare that to a Burrow PSA 10 Black Pandora, that's half of that price. I'm not sure those things play out as equal in time if Joe Burrow doesn't win.
Yeah.
And that's where my argument comes back to. If Burrow does win and that card is big, what about all the Josh Allens and the Herberts and the Mahomes and everybody else that sells for so well? So that's kind of my thinking.
No, it's spot on. Real quick, you gonna go to the F1 trade night, and is F1 a good buy at the National?
I'm hoping to go to the F1 trade night. I'm hoping to do as much as I can, right? That's in 7 days will go by very quickly. I'm trying to do as much as humanly possible with trade nights, and Panini's got some stuff, and I know Laura Don Diego is having a trade night.
We're gonna go there for Pokemon, and then right after that, I think is the F1 trade
F1.
night.
Yep,
we'll be there too.
Yeah, so I might be, joining you guys for all of that because I'm likely on a similar path that night. So yeah, trying to do it all. So I'm excited. But yeah, F1 is probably one of the things I'm looking forward to the most. Like I enjoy it a lot. I'll have Reg with me there, and so it'll be fun to pick up some stuff. 2020, not maybe necessarily 2021. I'm more after the first year stuff. But yeah, I'm looking
the more
forward
expensive stuff.
Yeah, I just believe in the first year stuff more.
Yep.
I would rather have the first year Chrome, the first year Dynasty. I think one of the things I want to try to do is complete the Sapphire first year set as a PSA 10. I want to try to get that set all graded. I picked up a couple of them last week a couple weeks ago in Chantilly. I really like the Sapphire first year set. So just stuff like that.
All right. One last question. How do you keep your floors so clean?
They're amazing.
Go ahead. Oh, you want to answer it? Go ahead. I love it.
Is it the floors in the shop?
I have no idea. I assume that's what he's talking about.
Be in the shop,
my floor because it's not really dirty. I don't know, but I assume it was for you.
I don't know.
He's got that's
a random question.
It's a secret. He can't reveal all of his secrets.
Yeah, I guess.
That's funny. So one thing I want to do before you go, if there's any type of special giveaway, any type of event, charity event that you got going on that you want to mention it, go ahead. If not, shout out to where can people find you? I'm sure everybody knows where you're at. But yeah.
So a couple things. We're the trade night at the National, the official trade night of the National. We partnered with the National year to run it. It will be Thursday, the 28th, 6:30 to 10:30 in Ballroom A. It's 30,000 square feet. The biggest room we've ever run it in was 10,000 square feet in Chicago twice. So this will be 30,000 square feet. We'll have seating for about 1,100 people. Expecting more than that, but we'll have stuff there. We'll have stuff to give away, door prizes, working on some stuff with Whatnot. Shout out to Whatnot Golden and Panini for sponsoring that. Also at trade night at that event, Slab Stocks will be running their Camp Kesem charity event. So if you guys are looking to donate, Camp Kesem, Slab Stocks could explain it a lot better than I can, but essentially it's a camp that sends kids to camp when their parents are battling cancer. It's a great cause. We've donated it. We donated to last year, working on something for this year. So if anybody can donate to that, I will certainly plug that for Aaron. And then if anybody, little side personal plug, if anybody wants to get into the National Trade Night early, our event on Thursday, we're going to give away 10 early access passes to that on Whatnot next Thursday. So we're going to give away 10 tickets where you could get in early to Trade Night, get a seat, grab a little bite to eat, and be behind the scenes as we set up Trade Night next Thursday. That'll go down on Whatnot. So
what's your Whatnot handle? CardCollector2?
Yep, CardCollector2.
Perfect.
Boom, perfect.
There you go.
Well, Ryan, thanks so much for joining. It's been
real quick.
Real quick.
Oh,
Shout out to y'all for having me on here. I got this set in the other day, got a really cool deal on this. So I thought we'd give this back. So shout out to everybody that watches. Shout out to Gin and Juice for this. What people don't know is Juice and I had a very good conversation back in Atlanta at Culture Collision. Learned a lot about YouTube Shorts, YouTube. These guys have been great for me as a aspiring content creator. So I got this set in the other day. I want to give something away. I'll send this to you. You can pick the winner. You guys can pick a winner, but we'll give this away. So all you got to do is drop a comment on the video.
Oh, wow.
Your favorite Gin and Juice video.
Oh,
I'll let you guys pick a random comment and you can send the James Harden rookie auto to the winner.
Deal.
Sheesh.
So I'll mail this to you guys. I'll mail this to you guys tomorrow. You guys can give it away.
Nice little heart in there. That's dope. Thank you so much.
Yeah. I know it's not
Appreciate
your
it,
cup
Ryan.
of tea. He's an ASU guy. That's not your cup of tea, so it'll be perfect.
Buddy,
But
I trashed it so much on the channel, so it's perfect. Absolutely perfect. No, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, man. I mean, I hope the hobby continues to grow. The weight rate is going, and I'm always going to be there to help everybody out. I know same with you. So, I mean, this is a beautiful thing. Thank you again for coming on.
yeah, appreciate you guys having me. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for taking time out of your busy day.
Absolutely.
All right, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Deuces.
Woo.